Good evening. Welcome to the Henry Ford College Board of Trustees meeting, June 16th. Apologies for the delay. We had a celebratory gathering that extended by a little bit. The time is 7:46. Call to order, roll call.
Trustee Al-Jahmi.
Here.
Trustee Berry.
Here.
Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Here.
Trustee Petlichkov.
Here.
Vice Chair Watts.
Here.
Trustee Czar here, and Trustee Mosip is absent.
Next, please.
Approval of minutes. We're looking for approval of minutes for the following Board of Trustee meetings. Regular Board of Trustee meeting on May 19th, 2025. Do I do these separately, or can I do both?
No,
at the same-
both together.
Both, okay. Regular Board of Trustees meeting, May 19th, 2025, and Board of Trustees Ad Hoc Committee meeting, June 6th, 2025. I'm looking for a motion to make any necessary corrections and move to approve these minutes.
So moved. Second.
So moved by Trustee Berry, second by Trustee Al-Jahmi. Are there any objections? Hearing none, please attach a unanimous roll. Next, please.
Next, we have President's items.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Madam Vice Chair, I will promise I'm going to give you my shortest President's update of my tenure. You've all heard enough about and from me very, very recently. I just want you all to know that you 6 and the 8 other trustees that I've served have given me more support than I deserved, and I truly hope that I gave you and your roles as public officials what you feel was a fair bargain in hard work and dedication to the college. But no matter what, I promise you that sitting here with you for 7 years has been the professional highlight of my career. And I leave with heavy heart, but a lot of optimism for Henry Ford College, both because of you and because of the people who are sitting there out in front of you today. You've got an excellent group here at this table, and you've got an excellent group who will support the college. And my belief, and I truly do believe this, is that you all and they can do great things irrespective of who sits in my seat. Or, frankly, it's not my seat, the seat that I borrowed for a short amount of time. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, Madam Chair, and trustees. I'll miss you all.
Next item.
Our next item is citizen participation. Citizens wishing to address the board on agenda and non-agenda items for action who have submitted a blue card by 10 minutes after the meeting, or 7:10, or 10 minutes after the meeting to the secretary, may speak at this time. The board may not be in a position to respond to non-agenda items. Therefore, speakers should not anticipate an immediate response to their comments or questions. For the benefit of all concerned, do not mention the names or students, or do not mention the names of students or college employees. Please limit comments to 3 minutes. If during those 3 minutes the comments become personally directed, abusive, obscene, or irrelevant, your public comment time may be interrupted or ended. And Vice Chair Watts, we have just one card. We have one card. Our first speaker is Roxanne McDonald, also a former distinguished trustee of this board.
Vice Chair Watts, President Cavallina, members of the board, I want to thank you for this opportunity to address you tonight. And President Cavallina, you're not off the hook quite yet. I just wanted to make a brief statement officially on the record about Russ's leadership at the college. So I want to say that serving on this board for more than a decade, I've seen the way that he connects with people on a personal level. He truly views himself as a teammate. He helps his teammates discover and develop their talents and tackle their challenges while remaining focused on the goal of improving the lives and potential of every student. I always got a kick out of watching him interact with students, often meeting them randomly, shaking their hands and saying, "Hi, I'm Russ and I work here." And that to me always meant that you don't have to tear down a barrier that's never built in the first place. And Russ was very good about making sure that there aren't barriers in our students' way, in any way that it would affect the college. President Cavallina created a culture of respect and openness to possibilities. HFC is in a good place today, and I believe much of it is due to his transformational leadership. Western and all their students will certainly benefit from your return now as their president. Godspeed, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item is special consideration of an action item. Are there any action items on this agenda which board members or the president wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we will exclude these from the action below. We're looking for an action to approve action items. So I will call for a single action to approve all of the action items on this agenda except for items excluded by from this action by board member request. So I'm looking for a motion to approve action items numbered 1 through 12 as recommended in this agenda, unless there's anything to be excluded.
So move. Support.
Motion by trustee D'Ambrosio, support by trustee Barry. Are there any objections? Okay, hearing none, please attach a unanimous rule. Next, please.
So now we're moving on to Board of Trustee business. Board committee reports.
I can share the ad hoc committee for the search firm. We met a few Fridays ago.
To begin the process.
To review the verbiage for the RFP. Dan Murray, he and I just corresponded. He updated the verbiage and now it's with legal. Once legal has a look at it, then they'll come back to the ad hoc committee and we'll share with the full board. Any other committee reports?
No, but I will be having a building and site meeting tomorrow, moving forward about our infrastructure and the upcoming challenges we'll be facing. We will not have another board meeting with this sitting president at that point, so interim President Gonko will be with us as well, and we will be able to give you some insight as to how we will be moving forward next month.
Okay.
Going back to the RFP process,
Mhm.
if I could ask, do we have any tentative timeline that we're trying to meet with having the process complete or posted?
So the posting right now, we're waiting for the approved language from legal. Once that's approved, it'll come back to us. And then if the committee is happy with the language, then it'll go to the full board for thoughts. And then from there, the RFP will be sent out. I think Dan Murray, if you can come and speak to once the RFP is posted, what that time frame is that what you're asking, trustee Al-Jami?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
The process to get the RFP posted and how long does it take?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it looks like the target would be the September board meeting for the approval of the firm. So once we're ready to, after the board's looked at it, we can issue it. It'll go out as our normal process through BidNet Direct, article in the paper to make sure it's advertised well to find the firm. That'll go out, and then we'll have a question and answer period for the firms. Then we would have a notice of intent to bid as well. And then we would have all the responses, then the ad hoc committee would review those, and then from there, a possible interview process for some finalists, whatever that committee deems it to be. So I believe the last time in 2018, it was a phone call process
Yeah, we didn't have
To-
Zoom back then,
to
sorry.
interview, so.
Sorry, so when are we expecting the final language? I know I'm on the committee, but
Mhm.
yeah, that was about 10 days ago. No, yeah, about 10 days ago we met, Friday before last. So when can we expect the final language on the RFP that we discussed in the meeting?
As trustee Watts mentioned, it's with legal right now, so
Okay.
they're gonna review it, I assume, this week. So I would hope at the end of this week end of this week, early next week, we can have it back to the ad hoc committee.
Okay, and then can you just detail for everybody then what the steps, well, just real
Sure.
quickly, like what the steps would be after that?
Yeah, so once we have it and it's approved, again, we set an article, or like basically an ad in the classifieds and local papers. Also, I would send it out to preferred vendors, like some that we've had experience with, the company we used last time. Send an email to them. It will also go on BidNet Direct, so it's vastly advertised to find this firm. That process will be probably 2 or 3 weeks. Like I said, there's gonna be a question and answer in there. Then we'll get the responses. Once we have the responses, that'll go back to your committee for your review, however you deem to review those and score them. Then at that point, let's say you have 10 firms, you'd probably want to narrow that down to 3 or 4 to do an interview process, however you'd want to do that. If it's like online, in person, over the telephone, that would be up to your committee to decide.
Okay, and then after we pick a search firm,
Mhm.
which you're saying, you think in our September meeting, we could finalize a search firm?
Correct. That would be my assumption, based on the timeline we're at right now.
Okay. Right. Okay, that, I don't have any more.
Yeah, just clarification on the September. If you could clarify, what are we expecting in September board meeting?
What would be an action item like we typically have for a purchasing item? Because it's gonna, I'm sure, be it'd be more than 50,000, so it has to be approved by the board, the spend that it's gonna be. So the board would approve the actual final contract.
So we would have selected somebody by
Yes.
then?
Correct.
Okay, that's
That
what I
would
wanted
just
to
be the
make sure
final
we would have
step.
selected.
That's what your, would be voted. The ad hoc committee will report out in August as to what the potential recommendations would be, where we were at in the process, assuming things were moving in a timely fashion. So you would be aware of, and we would give that information to all the full board prior to it being on the September agenda.
Yeah,
And I'll have a firmer timeline once we have the final language in place and I issue it, and that'll be shared.
Yep.
Yeah,
Trustee Barry?
It just
I'm
seemed
sorry,
like,
go ahead.
sorry, it just seemed like a lot, 3 months to get to get the bid process complete.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot to me too. Well, I guess it's not totally up to you, I guess kind of up to us too,
Yeah.
whether or not we can get that done for the August, well, maybe we can. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of bid processes, and it's really as fast as you make it, to get the verbiage and to post it. Question on the preferred, they're gonna have to go through the bid process, the bid net?
Correct.
Okay, but you're just making them aware that there is a bid,
Correct. There's no preferential treatment other than they're getting an email.
which makes sense.
Yep.
You wanna make them aware. But I would wish that the process would have moved faster to get the bid, because now we're talking about 3, possibly 4 months to get the RFP. And then the search process still have to be a part of it. Just sharing my opinion.
So trustee Aljami, we had discussed perhaps hitting the August time date for that. I think we could do the September, and if August happens, I think then it'd be more realistic as September, but if August happens to hit, then we'll let you know. But I'll send out an email once we have that verbiage sent out, since legal currently has it. Trustee Barry, did you have a question?
I do not.
Okay. Next item?
Request for information and/or future agenda items. Okay, I have one. Just since I had a quick conversation with Vice President Ferguson before the meeting, but I think I should say it to everybody. So we all received a memo on May 19th, a follow-up to a request for information a couple months ago about what are our contractual and statutory obligations under and what we need to put together in our search firm. And I just asked her for clarification on a couple items. Am I allowed to say what I asked you about? It's not confident, it's not. Okay. So just a couple clarifications on the representation of unions in the search committee, because it wasn't clear to me from the memo that it was clear to me from the memo that if we appoint faculty members to the search committee, that they can be appointed by the union, but it wasn't clear to me that we must appoint faculty members to the search committee, if that makes sense.
I
So
believe it's in the Constitution.
Well, in the memo, it wasn't clear, so I was just asking,
Okay.
I'll be asking for clarification on that. That's all.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, next item?
Board member commentary.
The only thing I'm going to say is because I did not speak.
Yes, I was gonna say trustee Petlicoff.
But
Anyone have
that-
any
but-
tissues?
No,
okay.
I'm not going to go there because I think we have another week or so of his wonderful presence on campus. So, and I'm planning on probably having a phone call or two as you drive out to Kalamazoo and you're bored and want some entertainment.
Was that why you asked me to schedule that board? Be nice, Mary.
But I do want to say, it's funny, Lori Gonko actually had a viewpoint that was very similar to mine 7 years ago that she shared, I was unaware of. So, but it made me feel validated that I was not the only one who had a different perspective. But that, as everybody knows, I have come to not only enjoy Russell Cavaluna on campus and as our college president, but he's earned my trust, my respect, and my friendship. And it was something that he knew he had to earn going in. Our very first meeting, it was laid out very clearly about how I felt, but that every bit of his time on this has been well-deserved. And no, Dr. Mead didn't have to convince me, you convinced me. And I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
Trustee Aljami.
So I heard during the session, it was mentioned that a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people did not like Russ when they first met him.
We did not like him, we just,
Let me just, so Russ must have changed a lot over the last 7 years. Because, you know, for me, I did like him as I met him. And I do appreciate his welcoming nature and his openness. For new trustees, that's a big thing. This is our perception of you when we come in. And we're kind of, you're judging us and we're judging you. And I do appreciate that, and I wish you the best of luck. And I mentioned to Russ, when we were talking over there, I said, I could tell he really cares about the college. And knowing that, I'm sure he'll support the college in any way possible, just because of the love that he's developed for the college. And I wish you the best of luck, and I appreciate your welcoming nature and the openness that you've given me as a new trustees. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to be on the record on how they felt about Russ when
Or the way I dress.
well, should I mention you're coming onto campus during the interview process in a baseball cap and very casually dressed, trying to blend in with the student community? And
Well, it sounds like
I
you're gonna.
also thought I thought he was a stalker as well.
All right.
Anyone else care to have any
Close to
comments?
Defamation and libel. But anyway, okay, sorry, anything else? Oh, sorry.
Anyone else would like to have any comments before we adjourn?
No, I just want to say, hi, I'm Amr, and I'm on the Board of Trustees.
Well, I will say to all of those out, to all of the staff and to the teammates, and I have said this earlier and I said it in another event, I think what you hear in terms of a team aspect is genuine. So our president, behind closed doors, when he speaks of the staff, he holds you in very high regard. And I think that goes to the sort of leadership that he has created here, the structure, the support, and the fact that, like he says, he gets out of your way. And regardless of what he's wearing, and I jest when he always wears his blue tie, there's always a pin and a very like monochromatic blue sock of some sort, that he is HFC through and through, regardless of whatever rooms there are, whatever the four walls are, or wherever he's possibly running. He is always a hawk. And so for that, thank you. And I look forward to our next board meeting, sadly, knowing that we'll have a new leader. I'm excited for the new Dr. Gonko to be on the other side of me, but knowing that Western is lucky to have a president. Thank you.
Madam Vice Chair, may I make a comment?
Sure.
As is my practice, I want to introduce you to two new staff members and invite you to make time to say hello to them. I believe you may have already met and had a chance to, but I would encourage you to do it as often as you'd like. The new Chief Financial Officer and Vice President, Kevin Howley's here, and you probably saw him earlier today. And because of your action just a minute ago, Rhonda DeLong, the Vice President, is proud, as am I, to introduce you to Nico Kanagawa, who's sitting next to Vice President DeLong. He'll be the Director of Admissions and Recruiting. And I have asked Rhonda and Nico to make time to say hello to you. So well, welcome to both of you. I know that there's great things ahead, and I know that this board is excited to have both of you join the team. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Next item, please.
Future meeting dates, Tuesday, June 17th, HFC Board of Trustees Building and Site Committee meeting, 5:30 PM at the Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Cabinet Conference Room. Monday, June 23rd, 2025, P to 12 Board of Education meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Service Center in the Franchi Boardroom. Monday, July 28th, 2025, P through 12 Board of Education meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Service Center in the Franchi Boardroom.
Okay, we are adjourned.